As the Jewish people progress and advance towards the land of Israel, which is the story of this week's Torah portion, we find that they have no choice. They're forced to battle and go to war against certain nations that stood in their way and wouldn't let them progress and advance. And one of these nations was a nation led by a Og Melech HaBashan, Og the king of Bashan. And in this one case, we're told that Moshe was very afraid that he wouldn't win this war, until God promised him, Al Tira, don't worry, you're going to be successful. Commentators all wonder, why was Moshe so worried in this case? He fought many battles on behalf of the Jewish people. He won them all. He was never afraid. The reason is because hundreds of years earlier, this same Og, or his ancestor, depends on different opinions, but he or his ancestors did a good deed. The story was that in the battle in the times of Abraham, Abraham's nephew Lot was involved in a battle, and he got captured by the opposing king. And this Og went and informed Abraham that his nephew Lot was captured. And Abraham went and saved him and was able to bring back Lot and reunite with him. And because of that, Moses was afraid that that good deed would protect him now in this pivotal moment when the Jewish people needed to advance towards Israel. They wouldn't be able to win the battle. Which is when you think about this story, it's a tremendous lesson for all of us. Think about this. A man does a good deed hundreds of years, and I want to analyze that good deed, because when you look into the commentators, that good deed didn't come from noble intentions. Our sages tell us that Og, the reason he went to tell Abraham that Lot was captured wasn't because he wanted Lot to be saved. On the contrary, he wanted Lot to be destroyed, and he wanted Abraham to go and fight and get killed in that war, so that then Og himself would be able to marry Abraham's wife Sarah, who was so attractive to Og. Imagine that. The intentions were so self-centered, so not noble, the opposite of nobility. Yet the Torah counts it as a merit, because in the final analysis, Abraham did save Lot, and as a result, Lot was saved. That was a favor for Abraham. So he had a very bad intention. He was very, very selfish, but his act led to something good. And that Moshe knew or suspected would save him in this pivotal moment. What a lesson. There's another lesson here, that sometimes your good deed may stand in your merit, may be a merit to you, not now, but in 400 years, for your descendants, for your great-great-grandchildren. One day, your deed today may save them tomorrow. What a lesson. Well, I mean, think about that. Let that sink in a little bit. And the Torah doesn't care about your motives. It cares about your motives, but in the final analysis, that's not that's not what counts ultimately. What counts ultimately is the bottom line. Did you do something good or you didn't? You had a motive, you had a bad motive, a good motive, you had a selfish motive. What was the final result? It was good, you're going to be rewarded. It wasn't good, you won't be rewarded. And when will you be rewarded? Sometimes it takes time. Every deed is written in God's book. Your great-grandfather from 400 years ago could have done something good, and that today saves you. I always wonder about some of these, certain people, they have miracles happen for them, and you ask them what, when, where, they don't know. You never know. It could be a great-grandfather of many, many centuries if he did something really good and God wrote it in the book, and now is the time that merit came to full display. Think about that and continue to do good deeds. Shabbat Shalom from Israel. My wife and I are spending this week in Israel. Finally, after so long, we're able to come for a family wedding. We're enjoying every moment of it. Enjoy your Shabbos, and God willing, we'll be back early next week. Shabbat Shalom, and all the best.